Hi, JJ.
Hi, Mom.
So, the Vikings lost to the LA Rams, and that kicks them out of the
Playoffs?
playoffs,
Mm-hmm.
the entire competition.
Yep.
They're done for the season.
Done for the season.
All right.
Now,
I stayed up and watched the game with you to support you. I still ask a lot of questions when I watch football with you, but by the time it was halftime, we were like, this is not
it
working.
didn't feel right at all.
Yeah, this is not working at all. So let's start by talking as JJ Vikings, talk about the game as a fan. Put on your fan hat. What is the feeling? What was the feeling while you were watching the game, and what is the feeling now that you know your team is out of the competition?
During the game, I'd say just like some frustration because, well, there were so many easy passes that Sam Darnold was missing, and he wasn't escaping the pocket correctly. He looked kind of like Kirk Cousins. He was getting sacked so much.
You look like a Cousins.
No, I'm not even trying to take a jab at Kirk Cousins. That's how he actually looked. And
Because you said he got so many sacks, right?
he got sacked so
And
many
that
times.
yesterday was the first time I understood what sack is, because I
understood
saw
what
it so many
You
times.
learned the hard way what a sack is.
Correct. I never knew what a sack was. Each time I'm watching a game, you go, that's a sack. I'm like, what's a sack? Because it always happens so fast, right? But having seen it so many times yesterday, I get to understand what a sack is. And there were many sacks against the Vikings.
And there were open receivers at times, but not only was Sam not hitting passes correctly, but I also feel that some of the blame, I hate to say it, might also be on Kevin O'Connell, but
Is that you still talking as a fan or as an analyst now? You're switching hats.
okay, you know what? Okay. Back to being a fan.
Back to being a fan, yes, please.
Before I go into the
Yes.
analyst part.
Yes.
Disappointment. This team disappointed us. This team let us down so many times. I was disappointed, but not really surprised, honestly, because after that Lions game, we just didn't look right. You know, we didn't look fully regrouped as a team. I thought that losing to the Lions would give us a nice refreshing mind in the playoffs.
You mean the last game before this one?
Before this one?
Yeah.
Because losing late in the regular season after having such a winning season
Streaks
would usually lift you up for the playoffs. But I'm not sure why that didn't happen here.
Right.
So this was a letdown.
I mean there was a picture of a fan in this stadium who did this, like, for Vikings when I go, I feel your pain.
They always do that.
Yeah.
That's nothing new.
Well, but I mean, I'm just telling you how it was projected on the screen, and I know that many fans were heartbroken. I got a couple of messages from some friends who watched the game because of you, and they say they feel really bad.
I thank all of you
you.
for that, by the way.
Yeah. I've come to love the Vikings because of you. I've come to understand football to an extent because
To
of
an extent, yep.
To an extent, and I've come to understand why there are 6 points, 7 points sometimes. And yesterday you said something. There was 7 minutes left before the end of the game, and usually I would say that's 7 minutes, but it takes such a long time to complete the 7 minutes.
That did not feel long, though.
And you said that did not feel long at all because the Vikings were so down.
The amount of time we were wasting and the time that we could have used to score points was just so, like, it's just so annoying how we cannot capitalize off of. It's not like our defense didn't help us. If our offense, okay.
Let's switch to analyst now. Yes, JJ Vikings talk like an analyst.
If the Minnesota Vikings offense gave nearly as many chances as the defense did, then maybe this game would have been at least close. Maybe we would have lost, or they would have lost with dignity, because I don't want to say we, because I'm not really being a fan right now. The problem is, when you have a talented receiver like Justin Jefferson, the best in the game, one of the best in history, definitely top 5, maybe even top 3 in history, and you have one of the best wide receivers in the NFL, possibly the best wide receiver too in the NFL, in Jordan Addison. And the fact that you as Sam Darnold are backed up in your own territory and not taking the short passes, like he wanted the deep balls every single play, it seemed like, which is why he would hold the ball so long and the pocket collapsed on him. and so did the defenders eventually. So I just do not like his pocket presence. I didn't like the way he escaped the pocket. No, he didn't escape the pocket. He didn't manage to. So many sacks. So many sacks.
Yeah.
But there was also one play where Matthew Stafford, on a fumble, they overturned it and said it was a pass. But even though it was a pass, it was intentional grounding because he didn't throw it to any nearby receivers of the football. So that was something that needs to be looked into. NFL officiating. Hope they look into that. Hope they investigate that. But I don't really think the Vikings fans here have a full right to say that the refs cheated them, because the team cheated themselves. I said it before the game. I gave pregame analysis, and I said the Vikings are their only worst enemy. They can get in their own way. There's nothing else that stops them besides themselves. They could have easily destroyed the Lions last week if Sam Darnold completed like one or two passes, in the end zone. Jordan Addison was open. Now in this game, if Sam could escape the pocket and complete passes and just score faster, I'm glad we at least got a touchdown, and I'm glad the deficit wasn't as high as last game, because last game was just, oh my god, it was just like, what the heck just happened. But the future's bright, and you know what, JJ McCarthy, welcome to the Minnesota Vikings starting roster.
So the future is bright, you mean next season?
Next season, correct. But the problem with this is we've got a lot of free agents for this offseason, including Cameron Bynum, who, let me go to the fan side real quick. This is a mixture of both fan and analyst. I do not want to see Cam Bynum go.
No, we love Cam Bynum. Please keep him.
Keep him, but this is a business, though.
Yeah.
The NFL's a business, and Cam Bynum, as great as he is, this wasn't exactly his breakout year, but he was still making incredible plays and incredible celebrations. I mean, if you go back and look at some and all of his celebrations, you would be surprised. And the interceptions that he makes as well, the great plays he makes. I don't want to see him anywhere else but in purple, and I don't mean the Ravens purple. I mean the Minnesota Vikings wonderful light colored purple. That's just what I want. I want Cam Bynum back, but so many free agents, and yeah, it just sucks how some are gonna have to go. We're gonna see a lot. But the Vikings do have a lot of cap space, if you know what that is.
So there's going to be a lot of changes, you think, before next season in the team?
Free agency-wise, yes.
What that means?
Free agency, you know what free agency is. When players are out of time with their contracts and need to sign somewhere else. You can bring
the guy who gave you the cleats.
You can bring them back.
Yeah, like the player, was he a free agent at the time?
No, he was an undrafted free agent.
Undrafted free agent. What's his name again?
That's a different kind of free agency. Najee Thompson.
Najee Thompson, we love you.
Thank you for those cleats, by the way. They're amazing. I still have them in my room. And they're very well taken care of. Not a single spot on them.
Nothing. Anyway, well, we continue to...
Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, Najee gave me the cleats. For a second, I thought that was Cam Bynum.
It's Najee.
Najee
we continue to support the Vikings. We look forward to other games, of course. And you continue your analysis. Even though the Vikings is out.
They're out, yep.
They're out. You continue to analyze the game. And
my playoff hopes are Eagles. Crush the Rams next week, please. I need to feel somewhat better.
You want them to revenge for you.
Commanders, no. Then the Commanders beat the Eagles. Then the Commanders beat the Lions. But if that can't happen, the teams that I don't want to see in the Super Bowl are obviously the Eagles and Lions. But the number one team that I don't want to see in there ever, the
Chiefs.
Lions. The Lions. The Chiefs are not the rival of our team.
Well, but I know, but Super Bowl.
I'd rather see the Chiefs three-peat the Super Bowl than the Lions win their first one.
Okay.
The Lions' history has been terrible these past 30 years. They don't even know what winning is until last season. They didn't even know what it was. So, why would I want to see a team like that, who's had far worse history than we ever had, win their first championship before us? Why?
Why?
I'd rather see the Chiefs, the Bills, the Ravens, the Eagles, anyone else but the Lions.
Okay.
But you want to know an amazing Super Bowl?
What?
Ravens, Commanders.
Ravens, Commanders.
Bills, Commanders. Ravens, Eagles. Bills, Eagles. Bills, Lions would be an amazing Super Bowl, but that freaked me out too much. I don't want the Lions in there, like I said.
Anyway. The Vikings lost. They are out of the competition for the season, but JJ Vikings continues analysis. And all the best, buddy.
The best part, thank you, Mom. The best part about this finally being the off season for the Vikings is I can now focus my attention more on planning for podcasts with whether players or analysts and other content creators. I'll have more time with that now that unfortunately our season's over. But you know what? Not a big deal. Actually, it is a very big deal for other Vikings fans. One Super Bowl before everybody dies. Please.
One Super Bowl, Vikings.
But, you know,
before JJ goes to college.
No, before everybody dies. Before Earth ends. Now,
Earth is not going to end.
before we win our first championship, probably.
All right, let's go.
Now, you know, I do have faith in our team. Like I said, JJ McCarthy. Can't wait. But, Skull Vikings.